Hello and welcome to Random Roleplay. I'm Deven of TRG Network and we're back with some more Planeswalkers good. And so today, the party split continues. Very transitional episode this is, but not one without its drama. More so than anything, we get to dive into one of our characters and their baggage. This week's hint, in the form of a quote: if it was my sister mate, I'd do anything to save her. You know that. I don't feel like it takes too much brain power to figure out who that quote might be from, so just listen when they talk, and chances are you'll catch it. But what's the meaning behind it? That's what I want you to hold on to. But other than that, make sure to like the video, make sure to sub if you haven't already, get a friend to sub. We're trying to get to 100 subscribers. Do help us get there. But I've run my mouth long enough, so without further ado, on to the show. So, we return to the capital of Lunia in the form of Heartsfate, the party in the form of Cassius the Arudim the Half-Orc, Naleek the Half-Elf, Crantor the Gallataur, Deis the Lamian Elf. Last we left off, Cassius, Crantor, and Deis returned to Jortix's shop, where the party found out that they were in much more hot water than they realized. Between breaking and entering, harassment of a business owner, and murder of an eternally youthful parrot, the party was to be brought forth before the Lamassu. Being escorted peacefully to Heart's Faith via Pigasi chariot, and being brought forth before the Lamassu, Labis himself passes the judgment to banish Crantor, Deis, Cassius for their current actions, and for being an assistant in Coastal gaining access to Celestia once more, albeit unintentionally.
Yes, not our fault.
Crantor takes his final day on Celestia to meet up with his to-be wife, Okiro, whereas Cassius goes to visit a church of Hestia to apologize to the spirit of his brother. After a heart-to-heart conversation with Deis, who caught up with him, who finally gets some identification on their newly acquired magical items, just in time to meet Crantor's betrothed. So yes, you guys are just finishing up purchasing Scrolls of Identify. Castor, what we talked about earlier, will technically be purchased as I assume you guys conversate throughout this afternoon. The word is everything happened in real time last session, but that's fine. It'll just kind of happen in the background. I'll explain as it goes. But yes, you two see a pair of Gallataur walking up, probably one of the most jarring sights, as Crantor himself was a very unique sight to behold the first time you both met.
I think you mean majestic, not jarring.
How dare I? Okay, I'm sorry. Allow him to correct the guy. Okay.
How fucking dare you, Advy?
Okay, alright, so Celestia has a rare avalanche. Everyone in Heart's Faith is okay, except for Crantor. He's dead.
Perfect. I already have a new backup character ready to go.
I hate you.
Would a plane ship
But yes,
it happened.
The individual in question walking up next to him, I need not describe, for here they are.
Ooh, very nice.
Both of these staffs on the side. Brown fur instead of Crantor's onyx fur, in this white cloak, in this white shaman-like garb, with bronze beads, or bronze-colored beads, lining the sides, as well as a sparkling green pattern that glistens in the eternal moonlight and starlight of Lunia. A medallion around her neck, and two other unidentified necklaces, one being of a small gem and the other being of, it seems like, a curved metal plate. Walks up looking, I would say, pleased. Proudly is the best way to put it. Very clearly happy to be in Crantor's presence as she's walking up. And Crantor, going to look over to you. Crantor, is this your other comrade? Puts her hands together, kind of like waiting to be introduced.
Okiro, allow me to introduce my comrade Cassius. Cassius, this is my lovely betrothed, Okiro.
Once
He
again,
looks a little shy and embarrassed.
Cassius's eyes will get very wide, but he knows how to properly treat a lady. His sister would whoop his ass if he didn't. He looks at her, bows very graciously. The name's Cassius Gafgarian, lass. Wonderful to meet you.
He kind of curtsies as a centaur-like creature would, and sends her hands almost to offer a hand, like proper handshake, or rather, you know, I forgot what it's called, but you know what I mean. With she rests your hand in her hands, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Cassius will take it.
Like, hello, I am Okiro the Cursed Finder. Kind of bow her head, nodding. Deis, the Empress, met earlier, is once again an honor.
Empress. Wait, Deis, you's actually an empress?
Well, yes, I told you, didn't I?
Yeah, but I didn't believe you. be perfectly honest. I thought you was just having a joke, a jest.
Oh, there are things I've done for fun and jest, but that was not one of them. It was so boring.
Am I the only one here who's not nobility?
Technically, I'm royalty.
Technically, I'm just a chief.
Right, but that's what I mean, right?
Not born noble, no.
You're the leader of your people. Deis over here is apparently an empress. I completely thought she was joking about that one. Arudim, he's the leader of his people. I'm sure Naleek's got some noble blood in him. And then you got me. What the hell am I doing here? I'm just a schmuck.
Yes, but you're our schmuck, and a nice one at that.
I mean, you're not wrong.
I wouldn't sell yourself short. But you lack in nobility.
Indeed.
You clearly make up for in capability. See it in you. Your potential yet to be truly unlocked.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
I'm a big fat green alien in a sigil.
What?
Was making a super comic guru joke. Don't worry about it. It's fine.
God damn it, Astro!
Beat me to it.
Gotcha.
I have a gif of that.
I'm going to reach inside you and pull out things you never knew you had.
I should have knew it was coming. I should have seen this one coming. As soon as
You
I
really should have.
Okay.
We definitely have to talk at some point.
I imagine that it's actually kind of like an awkward site. There's like awkward long pauses between dialogues between you because it's just like there's like nothing to really go off of with a conversation. She's kind of
We
just,
need Arudim.
Although, to be perfectly honest here, I didn't know a whole lot about Crantor other than, him being the leader of his people. So it's nice to actually get to know a little bit more about Crantor. He's saying this directly to Okiro.
Crantor blushes.
Indeed, I'd never met a Gallataur before. Of course, I never go near the deep sticks in that area. There are no libraries.
I agree. There are no libraries, and that is why I went on the journey that I did, amongst many other things. And
Note to self. Make
Yeah,
a
no.
library when we get home. Naleek, grant that. Oh.
you look over, and there's just a dotted outline of Naleek there.
Yes. Tear goes down his eye.
And Okira looks over. Oh, who is Naleek? Is he another one of those comrades you mentioned? One of the ones that went missing?
Yes, he is currently lost to us.
I do wish I could help with that. I fortunately have not gained the ability to use 9th level spells yet.
9th?
Yes, I am still working towards achieving it, but it is a very dangerous power in most cases.
Indeed, very impressive. I believe I'm on the 7th tier of magics.
Very impressive in its own way. Do not sell yourself short. You still have the ability to mold reality.
That's true, but at most times, I barely need the 3rd levels.
I think that is the way magic is meant to be used.
There is a lot of, I wouldn't say contempt, but I guess passion behind that statement specifically.
Ooh. Insight?
Go ahead.
1 second. Step away.
Being a warlock, Cassius does not know a thing about levels of magic.
Yeah,
They're just being. It just is a thing.
yes, no, what I've come to understand, spell slots are just spell slots unless they're warlock spell slots. Like, it's not like there's ranger spell slots and wizard spell slots. Spell slots are just spell slots unless they're warlock spell slots. Those are special. Those are different.
There's spell casting and then there's pact magic. 3rd, 7th, or 9th level. But I always just thought magic was magic. It was just a thing that got stronger as you did it.
Oh, once upon a time, it was just simply that way.
Indeed. It has evolved much since a number of heavenly, hellish, prime material plane events, but we can go over it when we're traveling on the ferry. And how long do we have till they kick us out, I believe is the proper term?
About 3 hours, I believe.
Yeah, you guys are. I imagine you guys have been walking and talking because Cassius and Deis never really stopped when you guys saw them. You guys just kind of congregated when you guys noticed each other, and I imagine Cassius has kind of been the one leading the group because he's the one doing the shopping. So Cassius will have kind of I imagine while this conversation is going on, Cassius is going by base component stand for certain spells, promising every component you need up to 5th level. which is kind of a very hard bargain, but that's not really what you were going there for. You just picked your simple, specific components. You can specify those if you want to, but...
He's just been looking for, like, incenses, herbs, some charcoals. He is looking for a brass brazier.
Which they will have to offer. They actually have an assortment. They will pull out what looks like a briefcase, and will open it up. Briefcase is 4 feet wide, and it will have different sizes of them. Most of them mobile sized.
I like some of these. He'll start looking at some of them, just kind of inspecting to see what, like thickness, durability, see if there's any like particularly interesting design work built into the metal.
Anybody who really bothers to notice will notice Oshiro just like being extremely observant of this entire purchase from start to end. So, still, like almost like she's still trying to truly get a grasp of how it works.
Do they have any gem dust?
Not the general idea. Uh-oh. I just saw everybody drop off my Roll20.
Oh shoot, you're right. I'm still in game.
Go down?
What happened?
Same.
So am
I'm
I.
refreshing real quick.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm seeing it now.
We've all been sent to our own versions of planes of existence. Oh, here comes Crantor as Astro.
Yeah, just refresh, everybody.
Just refresh.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Sorry, everybody.
No worries. That's why we're just gonna work right through it.
While we do this, I don't know if Deis will have ever seen it, and I know Okiro wouldn't. Crantor was not going to be surprised at all by this. Cassius will kind of like reach into one of his pockets. He'll just kind of feel around to see which one she's in, reach into his pocket and pull out Lucy and just kind of let her, inspect to see if she finds one that she likes. And if there's a particular one that she likes, he will get that one.
That's adorable.
Yep. You'll go
Out
over.
of character. DS doesn't care.
I know that Roll20 was having issues yesterday as well. And I can tell you that if they use Microsoft servers today have been absolutely taking a dump. Because we use them for work and they went down nationwide.
Jeez.
Astro, could you set yourself as Crantor, and then we're good to go.
Hang on.
Beautiful. Big buff lad, that's what I want to see.
Well, I mean, you get that either way, but...
Alright. You pull out Lucy and allow her to pretty much scope out which one she's going to like. Guy doesn't seem bothered one bit, that little mouse going across the other stuff. And eventually Lucy will pick out one she can fit snug right in. And just leaves a little bit of border space for her to kind of like move around in. So that way it's not like a cat in a sink. And after sitting...
you like?
No. Happy mouse noises.
Without moving any part of his body other than his head will just move straight to the shopkeep. I'll take it.
All yours? Big old smile.
Flip him with platinum.
Catches it without even looking at the coin. Not.
I like this guy.
Ting, shine from the smile. I like you too. Come on back.
It
And
might be a while before I'm able to come back there, mate.
yeah, you notice actually, just as that was said, that a lady kind of like who was peering out from the curtain. You didn't notice before, but you're peering out from the curtain behind, and hears that and kind of like starts whispering something in his ear. He's like, oh, and he's like looking over at you now as something's being mumbled, and then he starts looking across to the rest of you. Oh, well, I'm gonna ask y'all to leave now.
Yeah, that's fair.
Might
Hey,
I
you know what?
purchase some ruby dust before we are shuffled out of the way, good sir?
No, I'm afraid I would like you all to leave. It seems you are to begin your exile.
For the inconvenience, I'll tell you what. I'll flip him another, basically pay for everything, and then I'll just give him another platinum as a tip.
A good lad. May your atonement go the best.
That is the intent, mate.
What race is this guy?
They look to be human, but you're not sure because they have some long hair that goes over their ears. So they could be a half-elf, but they're probably a human. Their hair is slightly glowing. Again, an auburn color, slight glow to them. They have luminescent blue eyes, almost similar to the brightest shine on your own hair. Or Cassius's hair, depending on which character you look at first. I really didn't mean for their hair to be so similar. I'm sorry, guys.
We'll flick her hair back, show off her slightly pointed ears. I'm sure we will meet again. Your loss.
I think that might be the cue. Shall we make our way to the docks, mates?
Yeah, I will say everybody can roll an insight check as you guys walking away from the
I'll do that.
stand.
This is
I will definitely do that.
She gets to laugh.
Nope. That guy's just classist. He doesn't like warlocks.
If it's not about my heritage, it's about my classification.
Which is also based in my heritage.
He makes a point.
I'm trying to remember
No,
her
I'm
name
just,
now.
I'm just goofing.
But yes,
I gotta-
Crantor, you're noticing the people of the Merchant's Tier, more and more people are starting to like look at you guys, not necessarily with contempt, but almost like concerned. Like, you guys are like, word's starting to get around you. You're definitely getting that vibe. You're not
Probably
used
me
to
in particular.
not so much you in particular, but just pretty much you and your group. You've gotten the vibe before because in your tribe, you know, it's a very large group. So naturally, when a word starts passing through the group, you start to see the shift in tone when it's a major word before you catch wind of it yourself. So it's kind of similar in that regard. That everyone's kind of starting to catch a similar vibe.
We should leave, everyone. Let's.
Yeah, I think that might be for the best.
Very well. I shall accompany you.
Crantor will nod at that.
Based on where you all said you were going, I may not accompany you the entire way, but I most definitely will be going alongside you all to Excelsior. See,
Oh,
yes, my current destination is in the Outlands.
you are most welcome to join us. Absolutely.
Hey, the more the merrier.
Indeed. You seem quite interesting, and I love the look of the staffs. I would love to know more about them.
All right. Well, there's a story for each of them. My concern, however, is what is a boat ride like?
Crantor just shudders.
That's right, Crantor spent several days on sea because the Astro Elves brought you guys back to Rieba from Lunia, but they landed in the ocean and had to sail all the way to Mindafall.
So Cassius is like, you know that feeling when you're a baby and your mama or whoever's kind of rocking you back and forth trying to get you to go to sleep? It's a bit like that, just all the time and on the deck of a ship.
Okiro looks to Crantor in confusion. Immediate confusion. What is this
There is
rocking?
no solid. There's no solid ground. There is just water everywhere. It sways back and forth, and it never stops unceasingly.
Sway.
Don't worry, I can do lesser restoration if you get seasick. Or celestial sick? What would be the term for this?
It is still the Silver Sea.
But anyway, Cassius will, he'll mention you should probably head toward the dock, and he'll just kind of guide everyone there.
Start making your way towards the dock, and as you do, you'll notice what's very likely the boat you're looking for. A white, blue, pink, and golden sailing ship that will have a ramp loading onto the stern of the boat with you petitioners looking to be loading. There'll be a holy guard on the left and the right side of the ramp. Looking very friendly, though. Almost like they're greeting people and chatting with them as they go on up. Despite them being, like, fully armored, which can typically be intimidating in, say, Rieba. And of course,
How much does the colors of the boat clash, or is it very streamlined into each other?
very much streamlined into each other. The blue is kind of like an indigo, and the pink is, just a standard pink. It's mainly white, and the gold will actually be gold that is lining it, which will, of course, shine very nicely because of the luminescent sky, which you will notice several Lamasu circling the city in, very casually.
Well, at least they have appropriate transportation.
I mean, I'm good with really anything. I'll take it just plain everyday wood. Be alright with me.
Well,
Anyway.
It's better than being led armed and into a carriage.
Well, we kind of had that one coming.
Speak for yourself.
Crantor grunts at that.
Well, fret not. My understanding is that Excelsior will be a little bit more welcoming to nefarious and standoutish behavior. It almost needs it to preserve its spot.
Interesting.
Yes, the gate towns are one of the most interesting portions of the Outlands, I'd like to think. Very unique. Replaceable.
I suppose, given I've seen it a number of times, I guess the effect doesn't feel as jarring as the first time.
Cassius will just kind of slow head turn toward Deis. Effect.
Well, once you've seen one city, you've seen them all, I
Oh,
suppose.
I thought you meant like we was about to get hit with something.
Oh no, that's when we get to Sigil.
Crantor, you'll notice.
Crantor does the head nod, the head turn. Sorry, what do I notice?
No, I was going to say, that Okiro is kind of trying. I wouldn't say necessarily putting on an act, but she's definitely trying to puff herself up to be a little bit more sociable. As she's typically not this, what you could consider as outgoing.
Mm-hmm. Did I get anything off that insight check I rolled on her, by the way, when I was talking about her levels of magic?
Oh, I thought that was the insight check on the group of people. Sorry. Yes,
Good.
Definitely. You can tell that she has grown significantly as a spellcaster in a very short
That's
amount of
my
time. And she's probably got access to some of the strongest available magic.
Note to self, don't piss her off. Okay. The whole time, people have been walking with, or at least offer to hold her hand anyway while they walk, just to kind of stroll along as a couple. And if she'd have taken that, then he would just like squeeze her hand and just kind of look at her and like reassure her a bit.
She would have been hesitant to accept it on the offer, but she would have ultimately done so, and it's like a small smile, almost as if to accept your offer.
Good. Just try to give her as much reassurance as you can.
And before you know it, you guys are approaching the ramp to the sailing ship, and you will see a sign right behind one of the holy guards. Very large letters in Celestial. Oh man, it sucks because, in Celestial it reads, "Now boarding the SS Expressior."
As a player, I yes.
I do. You
As
guys.
a player, I approve.
I was just walking into my room a few hours ago, and it just smacked me in the face, and I was like, yes. Yes!
There looked to be someone in charge who's taking care of who gets on.
It seems like the two holy guards are just kind of like nodding people as they approach to get on the ship. Like they kind of just stop, and then the guards just kind of like chat with them for a moment, and then they start going up. It was one person, and then it was a group of three, and then another single person, and then you guys
Like
start
have
approaching.
a boarding greeter or anything like that. That like this is your cabin. Go there.
You get the impression that that's probably the person standing up on the boat at the end of the ramp.
Gotcha. He will casually leather by the guard, giving them an yes, I'm here.
Yes, I've arrived.
Oh, well, hi there. Almost like slurring the Celestial a little bit, almost like a little twang to it. You almost get the impression that they're probably under the influence of something. That good old Celestia mead.
He will wink at the one that looks a little...
Tipsy?
Yes, that's the word. Thank you. Tipsy.
Yeah,
Brain's not working.
no worries.
When you're dealing with the public.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I only work in hotels with bars.
So make sure to keep to yourselves now. The trip should be quick, says the other one, kind of not looking up in your guys' direction all that much.
Like he's got the list then.
Yeah, I imagine because Deis is already kind of slithering up, everyone else will somewhat follow suit.
Yeah, Cass will follow.
And Crantor will make sure that he helps Okiro up like a gentleman and make sure she doesn't slip off the ramp or anything.
Yeah.
They're very tricky for us, Gallataur.
Pretty much you just hold her from behind so that way she doesn't slide too much because of the angle. Kind of pulling herself up a little bit because Gallataur still weigh roughly a ton. You guys pull yourself up onto the deck. Well, not the deck, the stern, where you see an assortment of individuals as the ship seems to have several different tables and what looks like an outside lounge up against more towards the center of the ship, and paths that lead around to the front of the boat, where you can only see the glisten of the silvery sea beyond.
Well, we head to the lounge. That looks like a nice little place where we could have some privacy and perhaps talk more without people staring too much.
Something's not right. Cass will turn. Oi, hey Cranto, do you remember if they said that our passage was paid? Cause I don't recall paying to get aboard this ship.
Well, the last time I was exiled, I didn't have to pay to leave. It'd be a bit insulting to, kick you out of the country and then make you pay to leave. A bit rude. But
You bring up a good point.
it's just not good manners.
I mean, you do bring up a good point. Oi, get out of a country. By the way, it's going to cost you. Well, I don't have that, so I guess I'm staying.
I do.
No,
I
then
mean,
they
there
try
are
to throw
some
you
kind
out
of
faster.
taxes. No, I didn't pay the last. I paid the last time. Naleek handled it all last time.
The league handled it.
Yeah,
I'm
Redazad,
useless without Naleek.
that king's a bit of a dick. He, of course, I kind of did a few things, but he was still a bit of a dick when he kicked me out.
Okay, Rose,
So-
just staying silent at that.
Yeah.
I don't know nothing about the goings on of kings, queens, emperors, and empresses. I don't worry about all that.
You're better off. Usually they're a gigantic pain in the tail. So, shall we get something to eat while we have this trip?
Yes, you guys notice a bar on the right side, which will lead you up to the front of the boat. You notice that there's kind of some bar stools and I guess I want to say like large cushions, almost for like what you would assume an ogre, really. But
We
For
have,
Crantor.
Like, the beanbag chairs.
kind of, yes, that's the best way I can explain it. It's something like that. It's a very large padded cushion. And Crantor, you'll notice that, of course, that is for centaurs. Really for races like centaurs and Gallatars. Creatures that can't sit in chairs traditionally. So those will be on the border. There will be, of course, stools in the center of the two.
Perfect. We'll just kind of beeline it for that area.
Crantor, you'll kind of beeline it off over towards that little bar section. Okiro, who somewhat hastily follow, and she's like, oh, and kind of skirts a little, just like, I see now what you all mean by the swaying. She kind of
It's
skirts.
best to sit.
There's some people like on the boat, kind of like, the ones that kind of just standing around chatting as they're loading, just like getting a little cautious as she kind of skids a little. And ultimately gets her footing when she grabs Crantor by like the shoulder or something. And you guys lead over there.
Are you two gonna be all right? He'll just kind of walk up to them leisurely. Anybody who wants to can notice he is going out of his way to be as non-threatening as possible after what happened.
You'll actually notice the most variety amongst the people are the ones loading onto this ship. There are other tieflings, there's the fearbolgs, there's tritons, there's sea elves, there's dwarves, halflings, orcs. There's races of many different kinds loading up onto this ship, heading out, so it get the impression that actually probably one of the places you stand out least in this plane. Even more so than like the Silvery Swords Tavern.
Yeah, well, it's more along the lines of given what happened.
Ah, yes. Yeah, I know you catch a few eyes as like, oh, you like to look up and down like they specifically recognize you or something. Which is almost bizarre with how big the city is, how quick a word spread. It's just like what seemingly commoners of the sound.
Cass will just kind of walk up leisurely, not affected by the swaying of the boat at all. You two gonna be all right?
Yes, Crantor, will you be okay?
Crantor just looks green. I will be fine.
That's new. I will say that's new. By the way, did I ever tell you guys, looking around, Triton, I hadn't seen... Ever tell you about the last time I saw a Triton? It was actually just a few days before I met Crantor.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was wandering the city. I believe it was it Radazard? Where was that?
That
Somewhere in that area.
Zedgadi is the country. Specifically in the capital of Gallus.
Radazard, Gallus. Oh, it was somewhere. But lots happened since then in only a short matter of time. Well, relatively speaking, of course. But I got approached by some Triton woman who literally just out of the blue called me by name. Took me completely by surprise. Had no idea. Said she had a job offer for me. First thing I did, asked her if she wanted to get a drink. Took her to a tavern.
Fine business practice.
She was a lovely woman. Of course, she had quite the sense of humor. Immediately, I believe I'm married. I'll have you know. Oh, don't worry, I wasn't asking about that.
Oh, she sounds nice.
I loved her. She had a great sense of humor. I
Okay,
hope she's
Rose
doing
kind of
well.
just chuckling at how all over the place Cassius is. Your comrades are entertaining, Crantor. She
Yes.
says this in Sylvan.
Aren't they just? He replies in Sylvan also.
You speak Sylvan, huh?
No, I don't.
Oh, you don't?
No, I was saying, do I speak it?
Oh, okay.
One of the languages I don't.
I know, but Deis does know Exotic tongue, so I wouldn't have been surprised. But
No, she
none-
does not.
well, she
Castle
does.
just kind of leaned back to Deus. And in Infernal, can you understand me?
He'll respond back in Infernal. Usually,
Oh, thank God.
They're on their heathen speak again.
she will take a sip of water and start speaking Aquan.
So, Crantor, did you meet him in the house? Or am I being a little too presumptive?
No, we met before that. He actually accompanied me into the Hells, but we met before.
Again, she was speaking in Sylvan, I should have clarified.
And he would be responding in kind.
Okay. I see. I do apologize if generalized. I am eager to meet your other comrades, though. You said you have more.
Yes. I hope you will be able to meet them soon. I worry about them.
Are they in danger?
We don't know where they are currently. They were swallowed by a bag devouring, and last we heard they're in the astral plane at the moment and separated. So we don't know what is to happen with that, but we worry.
Oh dear.
Did you say that in Common or in Sylvan?
Sylvan, unfortunately.
Unfortunately.
He would have been still doing Sylvan, unfortunately.
Yeah, exactly. No, and she would have been...
No, that's probably for the better.
I surely wish I had something to offer in terms of retrieving them. Nothing short of going into the astral plane and trying to find them ourselves would do any good.
Yes. We were told that they had it under control. I trust at least one of them to make it out okay. So we can only go forward as we can.
Understandable.
But I appreciate the sentiment all the same. Just kind of put his hand over hers and just kind of be the good boyfriendo.
Kind of give a soft smile. Nod. Lower her head a little. As the guy walks up and he'll plop down a menu. It'll be a dwarf. And he'll go, so what can I get you? And you'll notice it's just a list of various drinks, and that's it. Not like alcoholic drinks, just beverages in general. I mean, there is an alcoholic section, but there is no food on this menu.
Yes, will look disappointed at him.
Cass will, he'll immediately just start chatting up the door. Hey, what do you think is good on this? You know, I'm a warrior. I kind of want to keep my wits about me, so I don't want anything alcoholic. But as far as, something decent for you, what do you think?
Oh, yes. I would recommend our lime kiwi beverage here is actually one of my favorites. It's just one of our more recent beverages acquired. Alternatively, we have a triple berry shake over here. Is made of not just 4 different berries, but 4 different berries from 4 different planes. 2 of which, of course, Celestia and Outlands, but still, twice a variety. Those would be my 2 main.
Cass will look to both Crantor and Okiro. Now, would you want me to make a history or a medical check for this? Basically, what he's going to do is he's going to kind of describe the importance of fruit and how vitamin C can kind of help keep you healthy and alive when out on the ocean.
I see. Well...
Do you want me to make a roll for that, or...?
He's going to say, I don't think you're going to need that. This is going to be a very brief trip.
Brief?
Oh, yes. Why do you think there's no food here? You all don't need to eat. There's no cabins. You all need to sleep. In fact, I think they're pulling up the ramp now. We'll be there in a few minutes.
Okay, I'm going to admit, that's impressive.
Oh, yes. No, you see, and he points out over the ocean, out in a certain direction, just out into the sea. Go ahead and roll a perception check to notice what they are pointing at.
I will roll a perception check. That is a soft 20.
All right, so looking at the map, you'll notice off in this direction, you'll actually notice certain stones protruding out of the ocean. Specifically, these seem to be block-shaped red blocks splattered with shiny blue flecks. And see those right there? That leads us to the Outlands, specifically Excelsior.
In that case, can I get the berry smoothie to go?
Certainly. You'll have it by the time we dock.
Perfect. Okiro, would you like one?
Sure, I would like this smoothie.
Smoothie for the lady.
I don't indulge much in other cultures, but that is mainly because I've come to be very conservative with my coin. I don't like earning it, I suppose. It usually puts me in a position of debt to someone else. I do not like that.
He has claps a platinum on the table. Get whatever you want, dearie. It's my treat.
Well, thank you. It is an honor to be treated by someone of royalty, past, present, or future.
You're such a sweetie. Besides, what I want to find out is, how long have you 2 been a couple?
Oh, we were betrothed quite some time ago, actually. Crantor, would you like to tell? They are your comrades.
You tell it so much better, my sweet.
Do I? And just kind of like eyes wide and like, oh, right. Social hour. And right when she starts to think on and speaking, you hear the voice you needed to hear right now. Hey, Crantor. I wanted to know, you guys still in Heart's Faith? I'm almost there. It's Naleek, by the way, in case you didn't know. That was the whole sending.
Hold that thought. I just got a call. And then his eyes go like blank.
And she kind of just like purses her lips like, oh, okay, like stops. Like, sweet, saved me from having to tell a story.
Okay, I just heard from Naleek. He's on his way to Heart's Faith. He's going to type up a sending in response.
Oh, that's excellent. Now we just need to find the green one.
Meanwhile, drifting through space, Arudim, fuck! You don't know yet.
For those that aren't aware, Kobold snuck in and joined the call.
He did. He's waiting his shining moments. I'm so happy
Yes.
to be able to sneak in. I need space. I need
Advy, while I'm typing this
What's
up, could you pop up?
sup.
Hey, Kobold.
Yo.
Hey,
Glad you're doing.
How dare you?
how dare we care about our favorite Kobold?
Fuck you, yeah, how dare you?
So in response to Crantor telling us that he was able to get a hold of Naleek, DS will ask him if he wants her to try ascending to Arudim.
Yes, please do.
You
He
remember
says
the last one that you
Arudim.
tried did not work. Or at least you did not get a response from.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. It didn't go. We didn't get a response.
Oh, did I? Hold on, fuck it. Did I get ascending?
You did not.
Ha ha. Well, fuck me.
Alright,
well, I'm fucked.
At this point in time, you're just realizing that Naleek isn't there anymore. You guys had just gotten hit by the
this
psychic
would be,
storm.
This is the point in time where the multiple days are happening.
Yeah, for the most part. Yeah, you notice all this. You guys are noticing the ramp has now been fully pulled up and anchors being drawn.
Just get a fucking rat that tells him Arudim's dead. I am him now. I'm the rat.
Corpse is floating through astral space. Yeah, go enjoy that.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
Astral space. Wow. Oof.
Astral speed.
Okay, that was
Arudim
bad,
is
Devin.
vibing.
Okay, so we get. What's the next one? So yeah. Anything else in the part you ever are going to do?
Yeah, Cass will take the dwarf up on the on that four berry drink.
All right, 3 of those are coming up, and the boat starts to take off into the silvery seas. The glisten begins to overwhelm you. You guys once again begin to hear that harmonious tone echoing out from the ocean, but this time it's much clearer as you see dolphins popping up out of the ocean, hopping in the distance. You see sea elves, almost like mermaids, popping above the surface of the water. Actual mermaids popping above the surface of the water as they all are almost seeing the ship off as it heads out into the ocean roughly 50-60 feet before it starts to turn at the slight angle to lead towards those reddish stones that supposedly lead to Celestia, and well, pass through it, and it's almost like the anticipation grows passing through it for anybody who's watching the stones, because it's I imagine for inexperienced plane travelers, they would almost want to see the moment the plane transitions. So it's like, how is this open ocean going to turn into a city kind of thing? And after passing, almost instantaneously, the stars glisten, dim out, and close up in a light in front of you as you're now inside of a tunnel in what is a much smaller creek that has the same dimensions as the cubes that framed the path that led here. And you all see evening sunlight out at the end of this tunnel, something you have not seen since before you came to Lunia.
Oi, Crantor, is this what it's like when we don't spend 4 months in the astral plane?
Yeah, pretty much.
Motherfucker.
Right? And you all continue down this tunnel, and you exit the tunnel of this timely old-looking tower that you look above and see, and to your right, you all see streets paved with golden-flecked brick. A very homely western fantasy-looking town that both figuratively and literally radiates with righteousness. The people up and down the streets that you can see somewhat in the distance, including the bridge that goes over the very stream that you are flowing down has mostly humans with the occasional knight or paladin amongst the crowds. Of course, in the other direction, which I imagine you all look to after looking down the bridge, it leads... You all will see a widespread plain of grass. Strangely, you also see a desert relatively close by, flanked by a forest, and a body of water that looks to span the horizon, like a sea of sorts. It's very perplexing. It looks like Rieba, but the terrain almost looks like it was generated in a Minecraft map, with how random it looks.
Fucking Minecraft.
I mean, legit though, with just how random it looks.
Why is it only raining on that side of the line?
Yeah, you kind of do see a rain cloud in the far off distance, but the most noticeable yet minuscule detail stands out to you on the horizon of this sea is a slight sliver of a line. It almost looks to slice the horizon down the center. Everyone who wants to can roll a perception check to discern what it is.
I am rolling that perception.
Come on, roll 20.
Not nearly as good.
Ooh.
What's up?
I got 8.
All right. Well then, Cassius, looks like somebody just cut the sky. Don't know what else is up with that.
Whoever did that must have a really big sword.
Oh man.
Damn it, Sargeras.
Really big sword. Yep, that's how that does.
And Deis, are you rolling? Oh yeah, there you are.
I gotta get me one of them.
There it goes.
Crantor and Deis.
Yeah, that's how that works, guys. Totally.
Crantor, Deis, you note that as the only distinguishable feature of the Outlands compared to the material plane, and that is the Outlands spire. You know that it is an everlastingly tall column of sorts, which you were told, Crantor, was where Sigil was located atop of, but you cannot see it from where you're at. And Deis, you know through your own reason, as you all, now that is your confirmation, you guys are now in the Outlands, on the edge of Excelsior.
For those who are probably looking at an Outlands map, Excelsior is in the northwest side of the Outlands map.
No worries, we got a map.
Map.
As you guys literally spawned up right here at the edge of the creek, leading out, kind of just trailing, and it kind of stops at what looks like a small little docking area, allowing those, oh, we're getting off, get off. And the dwarf kind of saying that to y'all. There's your 3 beverages. Enjoy yourselves. I'm gonna go on break.
Enjoy that. You earned that. That was quick. I'm impressed.
Kitchen as always. We're almost there.
Takes a big slurp out of through the straw.
Crantor, you receive
Really
another
obnoxious.
sending. Right as you're taking that long sip, and it's like, and of course it's Naleek. That's a lot to unpack. Also, I literally just saw your ship disappear. That was pretty much the whole sending. Of course, there's plenty of words that could have been used, but he didn't. Implying that he had just gotten to the docks as you guys were leaving.
That dramatic bitch.
That dramatic bitch. I love how you blame him. Crantor's just like, oh, that dramatic bitch. He couldn't help it at all.
Like, I just picture Crantor just full having sunnies on, like big obnoxious sunnies, vacation hat, the berry smoothie, just slurping it.
A little bit of
Dramatic
sunscreen
bitch.
on his snoot.
Yes, exactly.
Oh man.
That's absolutely not what he sends to him, though.
I love. Okay, so
Hang on, I will give a response. You'll do the thing.
no worries.
I just like the idea of he gets the sending, completely understands it, and then just walks away. Dramatic bitch. What?
And it's only in his head, so no one else has any context of it.
Naleek's not a dramatic. I mean, he's a little dramatic.
He just slurps.
Seems a little bit jumpy, though.
I mean, literally less than a week ago, we were in hell. You could cut the guy a little bit of slack on that one.
How old
Again, it was all in his head, so y'all have no idea. He was saying Naleek. He could have been referring to Okiro as far as you all know.
Seems very nice, not a dramatic bitch.
He could be referring to himself. Maybe Deis. Maybe Cassius, because Cassius is a dramatic bitch.
Oh, I am an absolutely dramatic bitch. You ought to see me fight.
Exactly.
It's a spectacle, I tell you what.
But yes,
It really
as you all
is.
are loading off and Crantor's kind of locked up in his own thoughts, you all kind of notice, again, a lot of the people who are coming off of the ship kind of looking at you guys in a little bit of concern, and they start talking with the people who are waiting for some of them to get off of the ship, relatives that were waiting and whatnot. And again, more eyes start to gather on you all. Okibro questions how you all intend to... Yeah, she's just... Sorry. So, how do you all intend to get to your destination?
I don't rightly know about that one. I know we have to meet some form of contact here, I think.
Who has a key?
I'm waiting
Yeah.
for y'all to realize it.
I think I just did.
She's the contact.
Oh, no.
dumbasses.
As a player, I know this. Cassius has not figured that out yet.
Right?
No,
That's just
no.
Arudim in space. You dumbasses!
No. She's not the contact. That's not what it said. Contact was, you were told, was a paladin in one of the floating castles in Excelsior, which you guys see 5 of, by the way. This map depicts 3. There are currently 5, and they are slowly orbiting the city. Well, town, I should say. It's more of a town, but it is a very large town. It's a city-sized town.
It's a hamlet. It's a suburb.
Advy, what?
It's just because in my head, cities and towns have different vibes. Cities are
They do.
much more industrialized. They typically have like more political focus. Towns kind of provide resources a little bit more, and then there's
They're
villages.
talking about size, dude.
I know size typically in D&D terms, cities are typically a population of 25,000 people or around that ballpark. This town of Excelsior has that sized population, but it's very much depicted town-like in terms of how, like, the vibes it presents and what it does for itself.
DM question for you.
Yeah. I know, it is kind of confusing.
Does Deis not have that key?
Deis has her own.
Does it work for just one person, or is it like multi-person?
You have a type of key that needs to work in conjunction with a second key. It is essentially like a sender and receiver key, and you have a sender. So you need to use a receiver key, which sometimes is owned by another person, and other times it is just simply located at a certain place that you connect your key to. In the case of Excelsior, however, a few of the paladin lords have keys of their own to Sigma.
I will add that into my inventory because it was not there. It was probably just one of the details that we
Kind of glossed over,
had
yeah.
to run through quickly.
That's as you all do.
There we go. So, did you fellows have someone to meet here? I know I have my own. And she'll pull out and just, not fully out of like waving it around, but just kind of like say, yeah, I have something for herself.
I mean, last I checked, I think we were supposed to meet someone here.
Yes, but maybe it would be a good idea to find a place for Naleek and Arudim to meet us.
Well, given how quickly that boat ride, he would probably be in not even within the hour of us, I believe.
Yes, maybe we should find a place to stay. Maybe put up for Arudim.
Yeah, it might be a good idea to find a tavern or an inn or something. If you're willing
That
to
would
give
be-
me a minute, I could probably find one.
One moment. Deis will look towards the dock. Is there anyone who looks like they would leave someone in charge of receiving people for the next ship passengers? Or like a dock master?
You will see a very similar setup to how it was in Heart's Faith. There is a ramp leading up the boat, where there are 2 guards flanking either side of the base of the ramp. And once again, the banner is being put up. Now boarding the SS Expressior.
Excellent. I'll be right back.
Cass he'll just start looking around. He's looking for if he can see any other particular areas where there'd be large gatherings of people, because typically that's where you're going to find hotels and inns and taverns and stuff like that.
Ah, yes, the main drag.
Yes.
Yeah, she'll head out into the city. Well, I wouldn't say head out into the city, but you'll kind of notice that where you're at currently is kind of like, there's the largest gathering in sight for you. You would probably have to explore the town a little bit to find another busy location, per se. Otherwise, it's a very casual amount of people out amongst the streets. It's the evening time, so not too many people are out.
Right. Give me about 10 minutes, mates. I'll be right back. And he's just going to start walking down the street, about this way. get that as far as he can get in about 5 or so minutes, just taking in what he can see, and then he'll come back to the group.
Get in the lay of the land.
Wow, it won't take much time for you to kind of just go almost to the town center. It'll be about 5 minutes before you get there, but it'll be another 5 minutes back. And sure enough, the longer you go to and from, the more eyes you gather.
Is that taking into account that?
I suppose if you're trying to travel as fast as you can, then yes. I won't say it's like a passive thing. It would be something you have to actively use.
Yeah, I'm
okay. I just want
trying to get as much, just to kind of see where I could find some, like, moving about the main drag, trying to see if there's any major taverns and kind of taking stock of what quality they would be.
In the direction you're traveling, unfortunately, does not seem to be the case. Once gotta go check. You notice that this building seems to be a large gathering for petitioners and clerical-looking individuals alike. Very close to what is a tower made of white marble, very much resembling the towers in Celestia's cities. They seem to be where there's large gatherings, but not exactly the one you're kind of looking for.
Yeah, we're looking for like an inn or something.
Yeah, exactly. So you're not seeing anything in your area.
Not near the docks even. That's odd. I don't know if I've ever seen a city like this. There's always at least one tavern near the docks. That's strange. And he'll again make his way back to the group, moving the same pace that he did outward.
Righty. And I will. You know what? We're gonna sum this up a little bit for brevity's sake, just because this can end up going on. This could end up going on for a while. You guys will ultimately. Okiro will have just gone up to one of the guards and asked, once realizing that is the issue, that you all are looking for a tavern or an inn of sorts to stay. And you guys will have been pointed that in your first major left, take down, and roughly 80 degrees around the city, you'll come up on one of the more popular inns, which would be the Pilgrim's Rest. It has existed for eons and has housed some of the greatest planewalkers and primes alike. You guys will lead in, and you will have been looked to the contempt, and as you guys are going to check in, you'll legitimately be just straight up asked by the clerk, who's an older gnome lady, and she'll be like, "You know it is all probably best that you leave here, correct?"
Why is that?
Why?
Well, first things first, you are all exiled from Celestia. The word is getting around very quickly. Secondly, Excelsior does not take kindly to creatures who do not seem to be very morally righteous. And the people of this town get a strong vibe.
I'm sorry. I didn't have context for a lot of this. You fuckers got banished from Celestia?
Yeah, they did.
It was an emotional day.
Crantor, how did you get banished from Celestia?
It was an emotional day.
By bullying an old man.
That doesn't explain anything. What happened?
An old man who gave us a cursed bag, all right?
By accident.
Old man gave us the Okay, so the shop owner, obviously.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't...
And a little
But he was...
parrot.
Wow, they really do have a no bullshit tolerance policy.
Yes, we'll speak up at that little mention. Don't worry. We're passing through this little dink of a town till we reach our destination. We're just waiting for a comrade to catch up.
Oh, no worries.
Scathing.
Be nice.
Just almost non-reactionary. It's like, oh, no worries. The commerce of the town will catch up with you the longer you stay here. But do, please proceed, and she'll slide up 3 passes to your guys' rooms. We do apologize for the lack of accommodations, Sir and Mrs. Gallataur.
We don't want to cause any trouble. We're just waiting for our companions to catch up to us. We just need a place to stay for a bit. That's all. We're not trying to cause any trouble.
And the gnome, who's kind of got like those little low granny librarian glasses, she'll kind of just look to the left, look to the right, and just lean forward without really changing her posture, and she'll be like, "Look, causing some trouble may not be so bad. Excelsior's been exceptionally good lately." "Ah, I understand. Well, fret not. If trouble comes our way, I'm certain we'll engage with it." Okiro almost has like a slightly little devious smile, which again, Crantor, is very uncharacteristic for her. She's been very different since your little reunion.
Inciting again.
Yeah. Can I insight that one as well?
I will say no need to insight. You guys can tell the reference to earlier about the whole replaceable. And she'd be like, well, she'll kind of see you guys like looking at her odd for that. Oh, the gate towns can fall into their own plane if they become too much like their plane.
Cass just looks completely just.
You know Heart's Faith? That is the predecessor of Excelsior here. That is correct. Wow, sweetie, you know your history. I've learned. 24. I roll an insight anyway. No worries. But if I say there's no need for a check, there's no need for a check.
Cass just looks completely just like. Now I see why Arudim always giving me shit. Is this how I make him feel every day? God damn, I need to apologize to that lad.
I think we all do.
Yes!
And Naleek replies to you, and he's like, he's like, you know what? If you guys aren't with Arudim yet, then I think it is best that I wait here for him. Because the last thing I want to do is leave him alone.
God damn it. God damn it, Naleek.
Is that your response?
No.
That'd been great.
Not in character, anyway.
Yeah, right?
Above game, god damn it, Naleek. In game, god damn it, Naleek.
Right.
So great.
Ugh.
The only difference, the emphasis.
Oh, man. Okay, I feel bad.
Okay.
Gotta do it. Alright, and that is where you guys will go up to your rooms, or you guys will just chill out. You guys are pretty much just gonna chill out on Excelsior for a couple of days, laying low in your rooms here. You did not have to pay any coin to stay here. It was literally rent-free.
Really?
Yes.
Really?
That's suspicious. That's suspicious.
Was it? It was never brought up in the conversation. It's just, yeah, whatever, go ahead.
Well, then, in that case, just for brevity's sake, he will attune to the Ring of Spell Storing, and then he'll just kind of pick Deis's brain about a couple spells that might be a good idea to store in it.
How many spell levels can you put in that?
Up to 5.
Transition as you guys spend your next couple of days essentially spending downtime here in Excelsior, while Arudim travels through the astral plane before he finally goes through his episode of landing on the beach, climbing up the base of the mountain, and ultimately heading towards Heartfaith after having the little chat with the sailor orcs and Quickling. Zelos, I will clarify, there was no need for ascending to Naleek because Crantor will have clarified his conversations with Naleek, and that Naleek was just going to hang out. Unless there was...
She wouldn't be doing it for updates. She would just be doing it to be annoying.
Wow.
That's
She
awesome.
was up in town, waiting for someone,
And
there's no shopping.
Is there shopping at all?
there is, but you guys were pretty much advised to not be too busy on the town. Because we'll say any brief attempts to go out, you guys will quickly notice that it's a strangely hostile environment in certain areas, because you'll notice, like, knights pretty much arguing over who's more righteous.
Oh, God.
Oh, no, it's not just, like, bickering. Like, you saw one instance of
it's
a...
they're,
douchey
like,
gym bro
actually-
culture.
No, they're throwing down gauntlets and being like, no, I'm the most dude, bro.
It
No,
really
I
is.
am a Jesus body pillow.
It's like, no, you gotta go in and fucking kill them all. It's like, no, there's a more tactical approach. And no, not punch in face. You just do it like that. And then before you know it, they start brawling.
I really want Arudim to come in here and be like, no, you're all idiots, and you should stop this.
I want to see Arudim come in and just be like, the fuck happened? It's just like...
So good people aren't really good. That's something he learned today.
Oh, bro, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I was joking, but I was in the middle of the whole scene with them. I'm like, is this where my party turns evil? I was just...
No, that's literally what he's like, I'm sorry they got kicked out of Celestia?
On day 1.
On day 1?
Within 24 hours, we'll say. Which, by the way,
within-
Crantor, you have a decision to
24
make.
hours?
Yes, he does.
During your first evening out of the several short days, you and Okiro will be sharing a room, and you'll have the decision to make as that timer's ticking down on that contract, which now has the updates that you wanted. The god has been put in reference. You saw it change before you. Let me go check the specific wording on it for you so I can rephrase it properly. I unfortunately did not remake the PDF like I wanted to.
That's fine.
For you, maybe. Myself hating
You holding yourself up to your own standards. That's your
Yeah.
problem.
And that motherfucker Deven is not satisfied. I need to try harder.
I will smack that motherfucker, Deven.
Kosa will inform you in full of a contract that he has made with the elders of the tribe that you thought was yours. Kosa advises you to not go beyond this deal and confront them about it. As Ares, the god of war...
Don't double check that I'm lying or not.
No. Kosa advises you to not go beyond this deal and confront them about it. As Ares, the god of strife, is in hiding pulling the strings that you can't afford to tug on right now.
Oh. That bitch.
Yeah, and Crantor, you yourself have been somewhat indirectly associated with Ares before. Do you remember how? Out of character. Obviously, in character you do.
Oh god, out of character, I don't remember.
Ares
Other than, like...
is the patron of one Strand Muto.
Oh god damn it.
It's his mommy.
No,
Nike's his mommy.
Nike is his... There will actually be a little bullet point on the side, sometimes known as Cyric.
Does that name mean anything to Crantor?
Ares does. Cyric does not. But you do know that gods, especially as formidable as Ares, have existed under other names, and of course other cultures who worship certain gods may end up depicting things differently and such.
Mm-hmm. They get all their epithets and their local versions. It's okay. That makes things a bit more complicated.
Yes, it's just exactly why Kosel is like dangling these strings.
Oh god. Alright. Do I have any sendings refreshed or no?
Yes, your orb is completely refreshed. Actually, no, this is the first day. You have 2 uses still.
Okay. That's what I was asking. Hang on. Cut to Arudim. I need to think about this. I might have to do something incredibly
All right,
dumb.
Castor. Well, actually, go stuff like that. I will say go ahead and drop in the Roll20 chat for narrative purposes, unless specifically you don't want the audience to know. But I don't see why the audience couldn't know that. It's also will hold me to it because I'll see it when I'm editing the video. No, I do appreciate to not distract from the game, but it's no biggie. Oh, no, it's not really distracting. Astro real time is thinking about things right now. I'm also distracting time for the sake of Astro to consider.
Astro is pressed. Crantor's just confused.
Okiro will have been silent. Okiro's obviously read this contract several times over because you showed it to her before you even met back up with Cassius and Deis. But I suppose we'll technically have to do a little time warp and come back around to it. I'll let you think about it in player, but do keep in mind when we come back to it, we'll take care of that and then jump to you present time.
Okay.
Arudim. Arudim. You are right there at the base of Mount Celestia itself, albeit at a slight elevation, enough to be well above the rise of the city. But you noticed 2 cities flanking your either side, and you went to the one on your right, which was a more square city, the city in the form of Heartsfate. And you are actually descending here if you're at a full zoom. Oh, that's not the one. He's got a white ping. That's not. DRG's got the white. Can't see it on this map. Yeah, there you go. You're kind of like somewhere at this location. Upper right corner.
Oh, so I'm way over there.
Yeah.
So I'm in Hearth's Faith now.
Not quite. You are descending towards it. You notice that the entry points are either at the little creek that leads into the cliffside, or to go all the way around the city and enter in the bay side.
Does he see anything that he could float on, perhaps? Like, how strong is the current of this river over here?
Like the one leading down the...
Yeah.
Oh, it is very calm. It barely looks like it's moving, even.
Are there any trees nearby?
No.
Let's see, what do I have in my inventory that can help me here? Oh. I've got a ring of water walking. I can help. He's gonna go over by the stream, and he's just gonna be like, well, I may have bought the rings, but I'm still gonna, like, maybe they're faulty. Steps 1 foot onto the water to see if he stands on it.
You go to step on the water, and it rests underneath your feet solidly, just as if the ground was. You go to stand on it, and it flows. You feel it flowing under your feet, and it's somewhat slightly drifting you, but like barely an inch barely an inch a minute kind of thing. Like you only more so just feel the motion of the water, not so much as it carries you, unless you let it. In which case, you'll kind of look like you're skating down it.
It looks like an escalator at that point. Arudim just goes, okay, the ring's not faulty, that's good. Unless I take a wrong step and I get thrown into the plane of water.
What does Arudim do?
start. Well, since he can run on water, he's gonna look over. Are there any like guards posted at those towers?
There are lion-headed, eagle-winged beings perched on top of the towers. As you see several more of those individuals flying through the sky. In fact, moments after you look at one of the ones perched on the tower, its head just swivels, looking directly at you, down in the water.
Arudim just waves as he walks calmly towards the city.
Its gaze does not break from you, but it does not move. Now the second one, perched atop the opposite side, peers down at you as well.
He's gonna walk very, like, he's gonna pick up the
He's gonna pick up,
obviously, because he wants to find his, but he's definitely not in like a, he's picking up the pace. It's more like a light jog on the water. It's not really like a full-on Naruto run here. This is like a, hey, look, I don't mean any harm. I'm just gonna run through this water real quick.
Yeah, and they're watching.
He's very much in a non-threatening position here.
Yes, I know you.
Kind of like the joggers you see on the side of the road.
Yeah, literally, he's just gonna do that. And since he doesn't need to eat, breathe, or sleep, or like he doesn't like really feel quote unquote exhaustion, quote unquote, he doesn't need to breathe, so he just keeps going and going and going.
So you're just running down the entire path through the entire city?
Like as he's going through the city, he's just gonna look at like, are there like inns anywhere that he can see?
As you're running by, first off, you notice that this looks like very much of a pedestrian area. Over here, where it looks more of like a council district kind of situation. Here is where there might be taverns of some sort, but you're not too sure. And right beyond it, you'll notice very much a merchant area. As you see many stands out and such.
He's gonna do a cool front flip off of the water here at the merchant's tier.
You'll land right on the brick platform that lines just about 6 inches off above the water line. Still doing that sick-ass front flip landing. You'll catch some attention by some near playing kids, humans, an Aarakocra and a dwarf child, and they'll all just be like, "Wow, super cool! That's so neat!" And then they just kind of get back to playing.
Look around, kind of like realizing, oh shit, people don't know how to process that.
Looking around, you'll notice
people saw me and immediately complimented me instead of going, half-orc.
Yeah, no, you're looking around, and you look over towards, there's a couple of boats docked here, but one of the most notable ones is the one that is white, blue, pink, and golden-lined sailing ship that will have a ramp loading onto the stern of the boat as it's kind of just like facing outwards towards the ocean. And you'll notice a couple of friendly-looking bull plate guards lining each side, and a big old sign in the Celestial, so you can't understand it. But you have a passive perception of 23. No check needed. One of the people you'll notice standing out. You'll notice standing by the ramp, also waving at people who are passing by, just kind of like chatting with a few individuals. You notice one of them is like a tall ASMR human, and another one, surprisingly, is a lizard folk, chatting with Naleek. He's standing just like he is in his profile picture, his claymore out with both his palms over it.
Step of the wind, cunning action dash.
I love it.
So 3 dashes with bonus action, movement, and action doing a dash.
Yes. I love it. If you were hasted, you could take 2 actions with a dash and a bonus action dash. You can move 4 times your movement in 1 turn. Sick. Disgusting.
That would be so sick, though. Plus, your movement is doubled with a haste.
I got a speedy book, y'all. It'll be great to meet.
So yeah, he's gonna go there and just kind of nothing personnel kid right behind Naleek.
No, really, honestly, Silver Sea is just kind of interesting to me. I've always wondered what it would have been like to swim with the dolphins out there. And what's up? What's up? Oh my god. Like, he was trying to keep it calm, but the panic set in as he surprise came. No, he's not crying. It's just, like, he heard you, and he was trying to be casual, but his heart still stopped from the surprise, and that brief heart stoppage caught up with him as he was speaking. Oh my god. And the lizard folk would be, are you alright? Wow! Immediately seeing you, just, hi! You're hearing a lizard folk speak Celestial is one of the weirdest noises you've probably ever heard.
Arudim takes a deep breath. He says, my apologies, I have that effect on people. You look good, by the way. Hey, Naleek, buddy, you okay?
Oh man, is it great to see a familiar face? No offense, copy. Untaken, I'll leave you be. It says in common, and the lizard folk strolls and then goes strolling up the path.
Artem looks at the lizard folk. I've only met a few lizard folk. They've always been such interesting folk. Speaking of...
How long have you been on Celestia? Oh my gosh, I've tried contacting you twice.
I received anything. I just showed up here like maybe 10 minutes ago. Had a chat. I mean, 15 minutes the most.
Okay. Well, that's
good
awesome.
News is that I'm fast as fuck still. I am alive. I remember everything. And I can walk on water.
Bitchin'.
So, have you found our idiots yet?
They're in Excelsior already.
Because I have a feeling...
Yeah.
Oh, they're here?
No. This is Heart's Faith. Excelsior is in the Outlands. That ferry is gonna take us there. Oh man, you can't read Celestia. Oh. You don't know that thing's name, do you? And he kind of like puts his head down, kind of rubbing his brow.
Do I need to know? He looks at him as if he's like, is it going to pain you to say it?
If I have to suffer, you do too. You see right there is the SS Expressior.
He takes out a crumpled piece of paper stained with blood, and you see he writes something on it, crumples it back up, and puts it in his pocket.
Okay.
He can insight that.
Yeah,
if he
I was
wants.
gonna say Naleek's gonna insight that. I'm gonna roll his fucking golden dice.
Go ahead. Yeah, 100%.
Naleek, why you do this to me? Boy, it's an 8 plus what? Character sheet forever to load now.
Get fucked. Fucking druid nerd.
I'm gonna go off the cuff and assume it's a plus 9. Oh wait, no, I got it now. It's loaded. Yep, I was right. Plus 9. I know my boy. So that's a 17 insight.
He gets the sense that was probably a book, or not a book. It's probably a list that he tallies up of things worth living for or reasons to die.
Oh my god. Wow. Yeah, now Leek's just kind of like big sweat drop, big gulp, like, okay, wow, I'm not emotionally ready to handle this.
Artem just looks at him and says, look, if I'm gonna reincarnate anyway, it doesn't really matter. And he just starts walking towards the ship.
No, we told you this, man. You are Arudim, not whoever you are always becoming. Was your last life named Arudim?
We can't really prove that now, can we?
The way you explained it, it sounds like that's not the case. But I guess that's something else to ask the all-knowing. Now let's get up on that ferry.
This all-knowing better not be a pretentious asshole.
Look, they probably will be.
I hope it's at least something fun. A really kooky gnome or something.
This is why you've indulged in Deis's company, so you can get used to dealing with people like that. You're gonna deal with people like that no matter where you go in life. That much I know.
Like, he just, like... he takes out the knife again.
No, at least gonna snatch it out your hand.
Fucking try it, bitch.
Athletics check versus your acrobatics.
Okay, cool. I get a plus 10, jackass.
Okay, that's a 23. Holy shit, Naleek.
Okay, wow. Okay, so I have to roll a 13 or higher.
You
know what? Just because I kind of want him to succeed, I'm gonna do it at 20.
Oh, watch him get the good roll.
There we go.
Wait, what? How does that make sense? It says an 8 on my... Dice is an 8 on my screen. On my DM screen, at least. And on TRG's,
yeah,
too. That's stupid. But yeah, you got the 20 nonetheless. No, I'm making it an 18. The dice don't lie. No, I'm kidding. 20 versus the 20.
I'm so confused. I don't apply it to 20 either.
Yeah, right? Because it's face up on an 8, but the 10 is right next to it. I think it might have just been a glitch. No big deal. Anyways, yes. You kind of go to swipe it out, but you feel surprising amounts of strength from Naleek as he forcibly just rips it out your hand.
Oh, come on. That was a fun souvenir.
And he's going to politely gesture back to you. Sorry to snatch it out of your hand like that, but I don't like that.
He just, like, kind of rubs his temple.
And he kind of, like, nudges.
I'm sorry, actually.
No worries.
I'm doing what I used to do. Don't take this the wrong way, but you're kind of, I guess, some sort of authority figure in a way. You remind me of one of my brothers, let's just say that.
I mean, and he's kind of like taking it back, like he's not exactly sure like what's too much and what's not enough kind of thing. So he's like, yeah.
Gently takes the knife back, sheathes it, puts it away. I really liked my family, but my dad made me kill them all, so.
Eyes just like wide and his jaw's kind of just hanging low.
Don't worry, I don't take orders from people anymore. I would never kill you. Because I kind of like having you around and you kind of are nice.
Thanks. That reminds me of when
really
Crantor just...
Oh my god.
No, really. It's good. I'm not too good at this either. In fact, it kind of reminds me of when Crantor decided to not kill me. It really was a good time all around.
Sorry, wait, what?
It was a real tumultuous time when we met. Officially, I suppose. I mean, I saw him before, but when we met, we were kind of just getting sucked off to carcery by a demigod. So, and that demigod was just going to off me and like take them on about their business. But Crantor stood up for it and said, "Look."
The one that Crantor mentioned was an asshole.
I mean, I imagine so, but he was a dick. It's literally in every single time some sort of soul or whatever.
When I was younger, and my family, like, a thing, kind of, we weren't stable, but when we were, my brothers and I, we'd go out hunting. I was obviously a rebellious one, so I didn't really listen to people very much. I especially didn't listen to my father very much. The only person I listened to was my older brother, because he knew what would be best, and he always looked out for me, even though he knew that Dad liked me the most, because I showed the most potential of being something, the thing that he wanted. So I guess the habit of being around somebody brotherly is just coming back a little bit, of just being a bit of a rebellious teenager, I guess. So that's my fault. I should act more like an adult. But thank you for showing concern.
You got it, man. Look, you're great company. Like you said, you're not good at this. I'm not good at this either.
You should see me when I'm drunk.
You know what? Maybe in Excelsior we can all sit around and have a drink. Who knows?
Oh, I don't trust a damn thing around here. If we got eaten by a bag in Celestia.
Yeah, but you know what? Yeah, you're kind of right. That is weird. Why would we come across something like that?
You'd think Celestia would be safest. And I doubt the shopkeep was malicious. Do you think?
Here's the thing. I don't think he was, because, oh man, the sounds of it, you don't know. And he's kind of scratching the side of his beard. He's so Crantor told me through some sending when I first got here.
Oh, that's right. You can do that thing where you talk through your minds.
Yeah. Sometimes it doesn't work, though.
Really fucking useful.
It is. Unless your message get lost, because you never really know if it gets lost or someone just left you unheard.
What?
Oh, it's terminology that people who at least semi-regularly communicate through telepathy. You know, it's just like they left me unheard because they heard your message, but they're not going to respond to it.
But they did not respond. Yeah, it's a little rude.
Yeah, it's a little rude. But no, I wouldn't expect that from you. I did send to you, and the fact that you said you didn't get anything just tells me that it got lost in the astral plane. My understanding is that it's hardest to receive sendings in the astral plane because of how time dilated it can be. Makes sense, I suppose. I don't know. Some people would call it bullshit, but to me it makes sense. Maybe it's just because I'm a little more magical.
Don't I know?
Oh, yeah, that part. I was really trying to just kind of stall out. You want to go up on the ship? Fine.
Arudim just looks at him. What did they do? Do I have to break them out of God prison?
They went back to the halfling who sold them. So I guess gave me the bag, and
right, the thing that nearly killed us.
They according to Crantor, they asked some questions aggressively.
And what did he? Oh, aggressively.
Yes.
Aggressively was their first response.
Apparently,
Not calmly asking what the fuck. Just yelling at him what the fuck. Oh my god, I'm gone for 5 fucking seconds and their first reaction is violence.
you're telling me.
I stab people and I assassinate people for a living. And that's not my first response when it comes to things like this.
Well, long story short,
Maybe.
they're exiled from
Yeah,
this
threat.
plane. So, yeah.
Naleek. Could you say that? Could you say that one more time? I don't think I heard you.
I think you did.
He grabs Naleek, slams him against the wall. I don't think I heard you. They are what?
They're exiled from Celestia.
Great. Fan-fucking-tastic. Oh, the Gallataur is banned from Celestia.
You know, no, you want to know what the... No, this... I get where you're coming from, Arudim.
See, Cassius, I could see it because he didn't really like it here to begin with. He didn't trust it for a minute. He'd burn up in flames. Take or leave the snake lady. Crantor can't ever come here again. Ever.
I don't know if that's
for a
the case.
dispute with a shopkeeper.
No, see, this is why I want to talk to them and find this out. That's why I didn't want to tell you that. But if you found out that I didn't tell you that, I know you'd be very upset with me, and I don't like to withhold information like that from my friends.
Beautiful half-elf?
Indeed. Looks down size.
Why are you sighing?
Because my dad doesn't like that I'm a half-elf.
Oh, really? My dad loved that I was a half-elf because I was smart enough to see through his bullshit and I slit his throat.
Oh,
He
man,
lived.
this is getting...
Barely.
Look, I understand you're
but he
feeling...
ran.
I understand you're feeling pretty wound up right now, but you don't have to talk about
Slapped
such...
him in the face. Listen to me!
Arudim,
Being a half-elf is a goddamn treat.
Naleek, please let go of me. And you see, like, a shift in his look. Like, Naleek is really trying to hold back anger after being slapped like that by you.
Can you roll me an insight check?
Naleek's not trying to incite you. Naleek, at this point, his focus has shifted to the fact that you just slapped him. And he asked you to let go of him. And if you are not immediately doing that, there's going to be something happening.
Arudim, looks at him, notices the tone, is gonna let go, and he
Thank
takes
you.
a few steps back.
I understand how upset you may be with your history. This has come out a lot lately, Arudim. It seems like every other conversation is really digging these demons up. I think we need to really get to the source of this. But right now, under these circumstances, after finding out this information, it is not the time. You're much more clear-headed than this. Alright? And if a lack of clear-sighted actions was what got our friends in the trouble they're in, maybe we should lead a better example? Really put some emphasis on the word
Right.
lead.
You're right. I should be focusing more on my meditation. My apologies, that was a bit too much of my orc showing.
No. It has nothing to do with your race or what part of your race. Okay? That's your personality. You don't have to pin everything on your heritage. In fact, I'd almost say that that's a scapegoat. Okay? And I speak from experience. Okay? It was really drilled into my head to loathe the fact that I was not full-blooded. But just don't worry about that. Stop trying to be the leader of the orc tribe, Arudim. Be the leader of the Storm's Eye, Arudim. It's not about your bloodline. At least I don't want to. You know what? I shouldn't say that. I don't want to step on any cultural pride. I simply just want to say that
I have no pride being related to my father. He was a disgusting and despicable individual.
But
because I was raised by my human mother, humanity is. But there is a pride knowing that I have overcome that, and you're right, I am better than this. I'm better than what I was just acting like. And I guess it would be cheap to blame it on my heritage. Let's just find these idiots, round them up, and go... This was supposed to be a vacation. God damn it. Just holds his temple again. I thought I was gonna get to relax.
You're telling me. I mean, I suppose I didn't even
I
really
bet it was
get
a
to...
nightmare for you.
Not really, actually.
Ask, where did you... are you sure? Like, where did you end up at? Storm separated us.
I landed here on Celestia a few days ago. Specifically, I landed outside of Fortress Eternal and Everlasting. It's apparently the location of Barakiel, who is sort of the ruler of this plane. Well, the ruler of this layer of this plane. And he transported me.
So, kind of like Zariel, but for this?
Yeah, actually. Now that you put it like that, I suppose that's a good way to think of it. The antithesis of Zariel. Yeah, well...
I want to see Cassius overreact to that. That'll be hilarious. Hold
But,
on. Say you got some holy water. Make it just some regular water. Get some holy water. Say it's from them, and just splash it on him. That's how
No,
we'll get him back
that's
for
pretty
all the
cruel.
bullshit.
That could send him into a panic or something. He was really bugged out by our arrival. Yeah, should probably get up on the boat, actually. Kind of dismissing what he was gonna say, and he just kind of starts walking up towards the path, which is actually not too far away from you. And you notice everyone kind of like looking your guys' direction at how tense and aggressive you guys just kind of got with each other, as they're like, "What's going on here?" But they ultimately just kind of welcome you guys onto the boat.
What, never seen two lovers fight before?
Oh man,
I had to. It was right there.
but yes, you guys all
Man.
you load up onto the boat.
As we do, Ardim's gonna look at him and say, "I'm sorry. What were you going to say before we got on board?"
And he kind of stops as you guys are halfway up the ramp.
Oh fuck.
I
Oh no.
was transported to Bahamut's palace. I'm not sure if
No
you're aware.
fooling.
I'm not sure if you're aware, but
Your father?
no, he was my former patron. Bahamut is the
Oh, that's right. I knew Bahamut had something to do. I know you had some with Bahamut. So, what happened?
I did not meet with him, but I heard from him. He was never the god that I was trying to worship. The god that I was trying to worship before Heracles saved me. He looks back to you. It's Tiamat in disguise.
Well, shit.
And he starts to walk back up the path.
Would you
Continue.
look at that? Well, see, look, you're on the straight and narrow. That's good for you.
Yeah. You could say Crantor was a blessing.
A blessing in disguise. A little bit of handsomeness, too.
He's not exactly subtle, so disguise isn't the word that I'd think of.
No, see, here's the thing. Crantor is subtle in speech, but everything else not at all.
Oh yeah, so he's a very open individual. There's hardly
Because
been any
all he
secrets
really
with him.
He's kind of
Actually-
an open book, really.
Actually, there's been no secrets with him. Me and him spent months here. And he kind of like looks down for a moment and almost like despairingly looks up the mountain, and like his eyes scale up the side of the mountain into the clouds and out of vision. He's like, "We spent months here." I feel like we know each other through and through.
Oh my god, this is gonna be so good. Artem says, I'd certainly like to feel that one day. To know and trust somebody that much. People in my tribe, or at least before I took over, we never really got that luxury, but the boys back home, they're definitely brothers for me. God, I miss them. The bastards. I really hope they're still alive. He just looks horrifically panicked. You know, maybe a vacation was a bad idea.
No.
This was a very bad idea. It was a horrible idea. Artem gets onto the ship, and he's just gonna look at Naleek and... Did I tell you about Koso and what he sent me as an offer?
Oh. Oh wait. No. You only ever showed Crantor and the note to Cassius from the Mesloth.
Yep. Crantor and I are most likely both receiving these deals from Coastal. I don't know if he's going to take Coastal up on the deal, especially now that he's been kicked out of Celestia for a while. The deal was enticing, but not enough to give up what I already loved and had. But of course, Coastal made a very, very real threat to hurt them, my tribe and my family, should I choose not to sign the contract. And naturally, being the stubborn son of a bitch I am, I said no. I'm worried about their safety. I had almost completely forgotten.
Oh man. I wish I knew any... Wait, I don't remember his name, but that human that accompanied you to Morbin when we all met, was his name?
Yes.
His name is Hank.
Yeah, what the... Hank.
Remember?
Gosh dang it. I really killed you with that one, didn't I?
I wasn't ready for that one, but yeah, I forgot.
Artem. Oh, hey.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm going off of memory. I could possibly be wrong, because I remember I came up with it on the fly then. So...
I know. I figured.
I'm pretty sure Hank is what I gave him. It was just, he's a human, but he's got, like, I imagine he's got, like, the eye patch, he's got a short bow, he's got 2 scimitars, he goes in. And of course, he's got a 5 o'clock shadow.
Oh, of course he has to.
You see, they call him Solid Hank.
Oh, okay. Well, I hope those idiots are still alive.
Oh, boy. I think they are. And you guys notice already the ship is starting to sail. I'm like, wait, what? Already? And...
Oh, thank
yeah, and now like, oh wait, this is gonna go by quick.
Our idiots, the better.
You see those rocks over there? And he points out to these reddish, like, cubes that are kind of protruding out of the water that kind of lead into a path.
The ones with the blue specks, yeah?
Yeah. Yeah. Those? Apparently, we're just gonna disappear in them. I literally saw it happen with the guys' ship.
As soon as I see Crantor and Naleek, they are getting a very stern, I don't know, hug? Do I slap them? Do I hug them? What do I do? I'm both infuriated and yet worried for them. What do people do in that scenario? Normally I just punch my brothers in the face. And then we hug it out. It's not a hard punch. Normally it's just a quick gut check or something. Honestly though, with Crantor, I'm a little afraid to punch him. I feel like I would break my hand.
Oh, you guys continue to sail through the lining these cubes, and after passing through the final one, it's almost as if the stars will kind of dissipate in the form of a tunnel around you as you are now more so on a small stream. You guys are barely on the water. 2 minutes, it felt. Finally, break out through the end, and it's bright daylight. Oh man, daylight. As you come out and you see the city with a warm glow, it is streets paved with golden flecked brick. Very homey Western fantasy town. Literally radiates with righteousness. And the people up and down the streets look to be most human. Occasional, like, knights or paladins.
Arnim looking at all this. Is it weird that I feel oddly unsafe here?
Maybe? I don't know. I like it. Very warm
Looks
vibe.
to him.
What?
You're part elf.
So?
Gestures to his green skin. A lot of quote-unquote righteous folk don't really like my kind. Due to the, centuries of bloodshed, horrific acts, and tributes to Gromsh.
Look, I just wait and see.
They come at me, they're dead.
Wow, that'll be an interesting situation. And you guys go, the bridge leads down from the boat off of the... But whatever side of the boat that it gets off of. You descend down and onto this golden flicked brick streets as very warm people just wandering about. Nobody really paying you guys much mind.
Already am surprised about that specifically. Huh. Oh shit, alright, cool.
And you guys begin to wander a little.
Now hold on a minute. God damn it!
And you guys begin to wander a little as we cut over back to the fam. Now you guys would have been here for roughly a day and a half now, spending 2 nights here. Going into you guys pretty much got here evening time, just chilled out in your rooms and crashed for the first night, doing what you did with the ring and such.
To make this as fast as possible, first thing Arudim does, walk up to a bunch of guards and just says, "Hey, you seen a bunch of weird people, a tiefling, a Gallataur, and a snake lady?"
moment. Because that
Possible.
yeah, we're gonna get. I'm glad you did that. I was waiting for everybody else to do that. Cassius cleared it up and down the streets to try and find one himself, and I appreciate that because I feel like Cassius would be more inclined to just look himself, especially with all the weird looks they were getting. Probably for the best for them, but you guys not so much. You guys can pull off just chatting with people. But yes, as for Deis, Cassius, Crantor, you guys would have Crantor. Before we would have gone through this day and a half, we would have had a decision to make.
Okay. Did you see the sending that I said? That's one of 2 sendings I'm going to send, potentially, that will make my decision for me.
Well, here's the thing. If you're waiting for that response, you will start to get dangerously close to when the contract's offer expires. You have not received a response yet.
I thought that renegotiating gave me an extra day. Did that not?
Nada.
Damn it.
Because the renegotiation's effects are almost instantaneous.
Technically, that should reset it, but...
Who says that? Whose rules are we going by?
Yeah, fair. This is hell legality.
Cool.
God damn it.
Shit.
Literally, the only binding, legal or otherwise, are the words and the implications of the words within the contract. Literally, everything else is free game. There are no set of laws predetermined to go by. There's no infernal rule book you gotta abide by. And
God damn it. All right. I hate this, Advy. I hate this so much.
oh man.
That sounds so painful.
This is bad. I am.
Do it, you fucking coward. Make Crantor.
I've been trying to avoid that the whole time.
Wow, between the purchase and the actions and the contracts, I'm not sure you've been doing the bang-up job.
Very good job.
For the audience, I just want to point out, the situation that Crantor is in is the exact inverse as Cassius. Cassius only has basically two living relatives. His sister, which is currently in the 3rd layer of hell, and Rosie. And frankly, if Rosie and Kosel had to fight, my money's on Rosie.
oh, god damn it.
I will build the legend of Rosie until she is but a god.
I love it. She'll become her own patron.
It's just Helga.
All you're doing is building my heel turn. But anyways, we need to...
For fuck's sake, no.
Okay. He'll ask Okiro what... Try to get her counsel. What would she do in this situation?
Oh, you were gonna sign a contract with a devil? Great.
Yeah, no,
I don't really have much of a choice.
Mm-hmm. I didn't either.
I mean, it's a little different for him, because, like, here's the thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
No, for real, though. Pretty much, from Arudim's perspective, what he was getting out of his contract was the safety and security of his people. What Crantor is getting out of this contract is the safety and security of his people, as well as the nullification of a contract his people have already signed with him. Go ahead and go read Crantor's contract. It's in the handouts. Go ahead, Kobold.
This is a tough fucking decision, and knowing that Ares is involved.
Yes, I will clarify to you, the only difference aside from in there is that the quote-unquote god in question is Ares, the god of strife.
And
Well,
that...
that's not a scary name at all.
Yeah.
That's for clarity of people, homie, of the word domain, he is a chaotic evil god.
Crantor doesn't see much choice, and unfortunately, he, under duress... You know what?
Did you want to keep it from her?
Well, did she say anything? Because he's...
From the seams of it, the only way to get out of this situation at this point is to play their game and be at it.
Uh-huh, sure.
That, or take your own action, and you see through whatever consequences may come of his.
I can either play the game and hope I win, or at least I hope I don't lose. Or I can lose everything that I've built and gotten back.
I will put it this way, Crantor. I feel like it is mostly a matter of pride in the making of this decision. One hand, you can keep to the pride of our people, sense of victory, and claiming it our way. You can turn down this contract. You can seek finding the details out of the contract that Nessus, Asbolis, Orias have all signed on our own terms. You have gathered this information that you wanted now. Unfortunately, that means this Koso will directly target our people in probably a very hostile manner, and we don't know the true details of the contracts that the elders have signed. So we are playing with a lot more unknowns in that regard for the sake of withholding our pride. Whereas, on the other hand, signing this contract, we sacrifice more freedom than we sacrifice pride. And I say we because you as the tribe leader hold the pride of our people on your back, which means you ultimately decide what is a prideful decision for our people.
More than the pride of our people, I carry their safety and the responsibility of carrying into the future on our back. That is what I'm most worried about.
Reading over the contract one more time, and you actually see a timer down at the bottom of the page. It is pretty much 16 minutes left is what it's indicating. And the specifications from the contract, it looks as if so long as you complete his deal, we're going to provide you the information in truth and provide you the safety to provide us that information. He has literally set this up just to get you to sign this contract, which, on one hand, is almost relieving, but I get the impression that that's what he wants.
Exactly. It's worrying that it feels too easy. If there's a game here that he's playing and I can't figure it out. I don't have all the information and he's refusing to give me the information that I need.
It seems as if the information that you need will be provided upon completing his task, but it seems you want the information before you complete the task.
I want to know the terms of the contract before I make a decision, but...
Yes, but in order, according to this contract, to get that very information, you have to see through this deal.
Exactly.
Unless...
That's what I hate about this.
Unless we go back to the tribe and we get answers for ourselves.
We don't have time.
Tell me, what is your current goal? And how pressed for time are you in achieving that goal?
Well, he looks at the contract and points at the 1530 that it's probably at right now.
Yes, not so. My concern isn't so much about this contract. I'm saying, will signing this contract and holding the agreement made in it, will that detour your plans in a detrimental manner?
I suppose not.
I can't speak for your friends. They are in the other room. But I know at the very least that I will see this through with you. I have plans, certainly. I am very close. I am only 2 rings away from my meeting point, but that can be put off for later.
I appreciate you standing by me in this. It means more to me than you can ever know.
I'm just glad we were finally reunited. I'm sorry that I left our people like I did, but I needed to follow the footsteps of my father. I'm going to bear his burden.
It probably is the one thing that saved you, so I'm in a way, I'm kind of glad you did. And he'll take a deep breath and sign the contract.
Something noteworthy. There is no time basis for this contract.
And I did notice that. Mm-hmm.
You can play that to your advantage. If you didn't want to complete this for a year, for all you cared, that could be the case. Certainly, you would have to hold up his end of the bargain in this if this contract works like I know 9 Hell contracts worked, and regrettably I have had to sign a few myself, luckily, it worked out for the better. But that doesn't always work.
Eyebrow raise at that.
They were lesser devils. I more so outsmarted them at their own game. And she had a little small smirk on her face.
Well, I'm glad I have you here to help me
essentially
beat them at the game itself.
Essentially, you think back to your beginning time in Avernus, how you guys bullied the shit out of devils. She pretty much just mind broke them when they're just like, oh, hey, here's a contract. And she would read it like, oh, wow, this is a very shitty contract. I could work this to my advantage, get this out of them, get this out of them. Okay, all right, cool. And then she would just sign it and be like, all right, well, now I guess you have to be my guide for the next 8 days. Wait, what? Yeah, the one task in return. You know that she's one to play with words, so.
She's amazing. I love her. But he'll sign it and kiss her and hope it pans out.
Soon, we can see our tribe. This is a lot of why I've on my own. In due time, I will make more of this clear. I just feel it is best to not try and dump a lot of information at once.
On the contrary, I want to know everything that you've been through since we departed, but there will be time for that.
There will be. But there's been a lot of outer planar travel.
Had a bit of that myself.
Probably share our journey. I wonder how many of the same planes we visit. Obviously, Bator is one of them. But, for example, have you ever been to the Beastlands?
No, not yet.
Oh.
I've never heard of it.
It is very wilderness and calm. And then she'll cut you guys kind of just get lost in conversation as that. And you guys will have led through the next day or two. Deis, after using augury to speak with Ion, you will have been reminded of something you already knew, and that is one of the paladin lords in one of those floating castles will link their key with yours, and it will transport you to a door in Sigil. You have met this paladin, of course, on any occasion that you've had to go to Sigil, and while you did not know them personally, the member of your council back when you were Empress, not like council, advisory, personal council, if you will, is where you would have gotten this information that this paladin lord would have had this key to connect with you. And while they never really were too fond of you, the fact that you had the key meant that they had a certain level of respect to you to comply.
Right, she'll pass that on to the others in between her chatting Cassius into the floor about magic, lounging in the sunniest spot she can find, while also being obnoxious to anyone around her.
Oh man, that would have started some disputes amongst people and stuff. Luckily, you have been slithering away, as other paladins would have gotten into arguments about how to deal with you, and some of them just straight up calling you evil and being a little obnoxious with their righteousness.
Oh yeah, and she would at least find a messenger to send word to said paladin lord that her and her party wish to enter Sigil and would like an audience.
You'll have gotten response, like, the woman whose name I will give you, Lady Dwarf, Paladin Lord Winriel Tungard. And she'll be responding to you almost immediately. She's like, "Party, huh? I was just told by a friend of mine, Fellhandle, that I got a few people coming with me to come to Sigil. They with you?"
We are just waiting the last two. We've been told that they are on their way and should be not long. They are on the ferry to here.
Alright. Come to the base of my castle. I'm the one that's currently at the one that's just right as Spireward side of the city.
Thank you for your time, and we will hopefully not be delayed.
Yes, for clarity, she'll be saying essentially, castle is floating up there.
Gotcha. Alright, she'll inform the party in between her fun activities.
I suppose everyone will have gathered outside the tavern. Well, not actually. You guys probably have just gathered in like the lobby of this place or something along the line. Wouldn't you have?
The four of us?
Yes. Okiro, Crantor, Cassius, and Deis.
I imagine that the two of the Cass and Deis will both just come down. I still just do not understand. You can actually control the strength of your magic.
Oh yes, I can adjust, enhance, and even push it beyond its capabilities.
How do you do that?
Excuse me, Cassius, do you not understand the concept of spell slots?
Jeez.
I know I have like a certain reserve, but I've never understood. I
Ah,
never knew that was a thing.
you're a warlock. Of course, yes. You have pack magic, so you have a set level spell slot, depending on how in tune with your patron you are. Whereas individuals like myself gain magic from their heritage, or individuals like the Empress here, who gain magic presumably from their deity.
But pretty much,
Yeah, I suppose that's a pretty good way to put it, yeah.
Yes, the spell slots are a lot of spellcasters. Their magic is organized by their spell slots. You have a certain amount depending on how powerful you grow as a spellcaster. Usually you can develop more magical reserve to use spells more often, or you can even make your spells stronger by casting them with a higher level. It is a very strange concept. It's almost spiritually mechanical in nature, which reminds me of my trip to Mechanus. She looked back over to Crantor. Yes, actually, I was there to explore certain details. I won't get into that information at the moment.
Eyebrow raised from Crantor.
Is it much like what is the country beside Rieva? I can never remember it. It's the one with the devices in steampunk that's quite the fad right now. Starts with a Z. I can never remember it.
Oh, name. I'm sorry, I am not too familiar with the geography of Rieba, strangely enough.
It's alright. It's one of those countries that everyone forgets that's there, but can't forget it, just they can never pronounce it right.
I've only ever been
Really?
to other planes. Yes.
Oh, I know a few spots that would be absolutely wonderful. Especially if you two are doing a honeymoon, I can recommend at least several resort spas. They will pamper you as if you were an empress.
I don't understand. Is the moon glazed in honey?
It can be.
No. Well, I mean, I guess if you're a powerful enough wizard, you could do that. No, honeymoon actually refers to a post-wedding ceremony in which the betrothed couple tend to take a vacation for themselves.
Oh, yes. Betrothed pilgrimage. She looks over to Crantor.
Yes, I tried. Used to do that back in the old days.
That's nice, but still, I can recommend a number of inns that have beachside, absolutely gorgeous, and they will wait on you hand and foot, or hoof, no offense.
None taken. That might be nice.
Trust me, I spent a year at one, and I don't think I'd seen so many happy faces when they saw me leave.
I don't know if that's a good thing there, Deis.
Well, it all depends on who I was tipping.
Fair point. And Crantor would have told them that he signed the contract.
Would you have told Cassius why?
He would have shown Cassius the contract, and we'll do this right now.
So
we'll do it right now.
Cass would just do one thing. He would put his main sword hand on your shoulder, look you straight in the eye. If it was my system mate, I'd do anything to save her. You know that.
I would do anything to help you save her.
But with that, I'm with you 100%. When it comes to your truck, you've got my swords.
And you've got my axe.
Does Castle have any enemies among the devils of Dis?
Good question, and something that we may need to ask the all-knowing when we get to Sigil.
I know that he's got some enemies on Avernus, particularly...
Got some enemies right here.
Well,
particularly Grandma.
As long as you have a devil that is stronger than him, he has no choice but to accept an order, does he not? Could you not sell the contract to someone else and thus cause a ripple effect in a different way?
That's a very fair question.
But
To be fair, I'm kind of new to the whole devil thing. So, despite what I look like, I don't really know a whole lot about that.
I suppose it would depend on how the contract was written, and you might need more information, as you said. You don't know who's pulling all the strings.
Crantor, you'll be receiving a sending from Naleek. Arudim, on your end, just as you're going to walk up to the guards, and Naleek will be like, no, don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. I can just contact Crantor, ask where they are.
He would have told him where they are in the sendings. It's like, okay, so we're staying at this hotel. This is what room we're in. Everything's nice, you know.
Yeah, no, of course.
Decent pillows.
It is to die for.
Crantor,
you're just talking shit just to keep him from being lonely.
You'll get the contact from Naleek. He's like, hey, we just arrived here in Excelsior. Come outside so we can find you easier, because these buildings kind of look samey.
Are we allowed outside?
You are.
Okay, because you said that we were pretty much not allowed. So
no, it's not that they weren't allowed. It was recommended that you didn't go.
Ah, I see.
Air quotes recommended.
Right.
Did you tell Cassius about that? About what Naleek said?
He'll just, as soon as his eyes go blank and he gets the sending, he'll just say, Naleek is here. Did he say if Arudim is here?
He said we're in Excelsior, so.
Oh, good. So yeah, they're here.
The Green Man survived. Nice.
Would you let Cassius know that Naleek's like, do something so we know where you're at?
He would. Okay. I can't wait to see how this turns out.
Oh, I got something.
So Cassius will walk outside, look straight up, look around, just to see if there's anything in the skies other than, the spire in the distance. We're talking like other objects flying in the sky.
There doesn't seem to be anything really flying in the sky. No, there's some clouds up there. It's sunlight. There's no sun anywhere. That's weird, but it's sunlight, bright sunlight, like midday.
He's gonna turn, he's gonna look, and he's gonna look right at Crantor with that same smile that he always has. It's about time we had a little bit of fun.
Crantor will just give the most solemn bro nod possible. Arms crossed, just
Yes, we'll go. Sorry.
I've been waiting to try this one, mate. Hey, Crantor, you remember when we fought those Erinyes over in Avernus?
Boy, howdy do I.
Ever since then, I've been working on a little something. And I think once we got back to Rieba, I figured it out.
Oh.
And Cassius will activate, for the first time ever, his first Mystic Arcanum. And cast Investiture of Wind.
And starts whirling around. No, this is yours. Go ahead. But...
it almost looks like the air behind him ripples, and if you squint hard enough, you can kind of make out wings. But if you don't, you can see right through him. The wind rushes from all sides, and he just shoots straight into the air. 60 feet straight up.
Woo! Oh my gosh.
And he just kind of floats there, and he'll go up as high as he needs to be able to see the docks.
Oh my good. Wow.
Well, while Cassius is doing the air dynamic, Deis will go outside and, using prestidigitation, put a big-ass winky face as well as a heart on the side of the building.
And not to be outdone, Crantor's going to pop a silver tide.
Oh my gosh. Oh man. Okay, so doing all this, Naleek just kind of looks over, looking over to Arudim, like, and he sees a little speck rise into the air. Wait, what's that? That Cassius? And then just little silvery sparks come rising from underneath, and then
Flavor the silver tide to like a beam of light,
right? As he's like,
just to frame him, to give him maximum cool.
all right, I found it. Yeah, I love the winky face double heart and notes on the side of the building.
Billboard sized.
I imagine Naleek and Arudim start leading down the roads towards where they're seeing everything go down until what's he Naleek have to?
Would it be a perception check?
No. He's not. No, it's not a matter of noticing. He notices who it is. It's a matter of he's just gonna drop and sending. He's like, okay, so Cassius, since when can you fly? You hear Naleek's voice in your head.
Cassius will respond, since Rieba, I think. This is the first time I've actually used it, so, and that's it. He does not finish that sentence. He doesn't want to accidentally lose concentration on it.
That's fucking great.
How the fuck?
Yeah, I just asked him through sending. Apparently this is the first time he's done it. Not quite sure how long he's been able to do it. Okay.
What? How the fuck? That could have been useful.
And you guys are coming up.
The class now.
Crantor, Okiro, and Deis, as you're on the ground kind of observing, you're noticing the street, there's actually a couple of paladins getting up in each other's face. This sight is becoming all too familiar. You see two of them getting face helmets to face. One shoves the other back and draws out their long sword, and the other pulls out their hammer, and they start clanking against each other, and you see a small little crowd gathering as they're about to brawl. And just on the other side of this, Naleek and Arudim, you're going to be turning the corner coming down the small path as you can see Crantor and Deis and a new familiar face. This is where I can show Kobold the good old Lassus design.
And for what it's worth, as Cassius sees them coming down the road, he will descend back to the ground.
And Crantor will pop a calm emotions on the bros just to shut them up.
No, just as you're like their weapons are clanking. One just slashed one across the chest as you start to approach, as the blood spews from them, and the other one smacks them with their hammer, but gets deflected by the second one and carved right up the side, and the paladin with the hammer falls dead in mere moments.
Jesus.
I'll show you. Like, this lost in breath almost fairly, as there's like some cheering from the crowd, but some disturbance from the crowd as like it starts to disperse a little. And again, almost coming from behind, out of the group of people, is another paladin who slashes the one who just slayed the first one upside the back, almost like a mosh pit's about to start.
Okay.
Are you going to approach?
More enjoyable.
So Cassius is going to, if he sees Arudim, mind you, everything in a 15-foot cube centered on me, so basically 5 feet in every direction from me. Anyone standing within 5 feet of me is deafened by the wind surrounding me because I haven't released the spell yet.
Everyone's just like, what? As you can't even hear the clanking of the weapons anymore.
Cassius would see Arudim and immediately just beeline right for him.
Oh, you would run right past the crowd then, huh?
If I had to go over it, I would go over it.
Oh, then you probably would have just glided over, yeah. I would have just glided over these two lads marching. I can't believe you guys are just, like, not giving a fuck about it.
I'm sure at this point we've seen it a few times, and we're just been like, okay, it's none of our business.
But they're kind of blocking the center of the town for Crantor and Okiro, and
Yeah, I don't have the right thing equipped today to deal with that.
Cassius, you're landing just about 20 feet out from them, just because you're not measuring the distance all that well, and right as you do that, an individual bursts out from the home right next to Naleek and fires a crossbow, and that is where we're going to end this session. That hits, by the way.
Naleek.
Are they within sight of us?
I will show you the map.
Oh, because I have things I can do at distance.
Well,
Obviously, the session's ended, and there's nothing to be doing about that, but you guys were... This is where you were out in the street, and the brawl was... You know what? You probably would be a little bit farther back than that, considering the circumstances.
I take it's those idiots brawling.
Yep, it's you named
Oh,
ones.
I see them. I see. They're way down there.
Oh,
Okay,
this
so
one's
that's way
dead
out
now.
of my range.
My bad.
Okay, so we're way out of my range of anything.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cassius just went flying over to them, and this is the individual.
well, I have ideas. As a player, I have ideas to make a path.
Okay, so you know what I want everybody to do as the end of the session? I need everybody to roll initiatives. That way it'll be nice and prepped fresh for the start of the next session.
Take a page
Sure
out
thing.
of the take a page out of Fantasy High's book.
Crantor also has ideas.
That figures.
Oh boy.
11.
Oh man, wow, this isn't the best initiative from everybody.
No.
Oh no.
Oh
By the
no,
way, Advy-
indeed. Because Crantor is pretty much the only one who's not going to be affected by the surprise round.
I pull a
Oh
higher
no.
initiative than
Surprise
Crantor.
round.
Yeah,
Except I
Cassius.
can't be caught surprised, bitch.
I'm sorry, what's up?
I pull a higher initiative than Crantor.
Yeah.
Yes, but Crantor has alert.
Oh, that's right.
Oh yeah.
So pretty much
Okay.
everyone in the party will be surprised except for Crantor. Oh man,
Damn it.
I can't be surprised.
She would be
So
busy painting.
I have two questions for you.
yeah.
One, can I create a cubic aura around myself? Oh yes, I can. I can do this.
Right, you have the spell active. However, it's only active for 1 minute.
And
Oh,
that would lead me to my second question. How long have I had it active for?
All right, so let's try and put this in perspective, right? Okay, so they're all the way over by the docks. You saw how the distance from the docks from the inn was on the other map. I'll take us over again just to specify once more where the inn is located. The inn is where the 6 is located, so it would be this... Oops, wrong layer. It would be, yes, right over there. Whereas the docks were right here. So you would have had to have been fairly high in the air. Chances are you actually would not have flown over to them. You would have had to run to them. The spell would already be deactivated, realistically speaking.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then at that point I'll use my city secrets and just kind of bounce, kind of weave my way around the crowd.
Yeah, exactly. We'll just say for flavor's sake, you burst by them not giving a fuck, nothing. Yeah, you guys will be starting on a map with a lot of things going on. Oh boy, that'll be an
A
interesting.
few things that I can do for this. I do. So I have to double check because I think I put my staff in, but I didn't put it under for DS in the handouts.
Oh man, and here's the thing, right? You guys have been here for a few days, so things are going on right now. It's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, I finally get to do something.
Oh man, there's
And yes, she has been painting streaked along the building. Just
oh my gosh, yeah. I mean, hey, you guys are helping out keep this lane proper. First
So
off,
I would like to point out one thing.
Yeah.
Astro, there was no ship combat.
Yep, you're right.
What did you guys think there was going to be ship combat?
Well,
Yes.
because when you went AFK right before we started the session, I told Astro what we were talking about last week about how we went 6 sessions without combat. And he goes, "Oh God, we're gonna get ship combat. I'm gonna blame you if that happens." I'm like, he already knows. He's the one who told me.
That doesn't make it better.
No worries, you're lucky.
But I figured you wouldn't want to do a combat without Kobold here.
I will say this combat equally had a chance of happening, or at least something along these lines had a chance of happening if Kobold wasn't able to make it. In fact, that would have been the ideal way to go about it, because combat just consumes time, and that would have been great to hold essentially the game up until Kobold was back in commission to make it. But he trooped on.
I have no idea if I'll even be alive next session.
Yeah.
You as the player or I hope you're alive.
Probably.
I also hope that you're alive.
Same.
Yeah, I get the
It
shot.
was a bit of a risk
Yeah.
bring. In that regard, it was a bit of a risk bringing Arudim back into the fold because there's no longer that narrative excuse of him not being out. And if nothing else, it can just be a break.
Well, hypothetically, the arrow could miss Naleek and hit Arudim and be coated in a sleep toxin.
That or it just straight up kills him.
No. Oh, stop wanting death upon your character.
I think it's funny that the DM is telling me that.
Yes, because you're always oh, this my character's gonna die, lol. No, stop being so character deprecating.
Figures, if someone dies,
He
I don't
deserved
have
it.
resurrection on me right now. Or diamond.
think
Oh
I
no. That's so terrible.
I think Crantor does.
The
I
cons-
Oh,
have
that's Rieba.
my
regeneration,
concern
though.
is the thing about Arudim, right?
What do you mean, buddy?
Nothing. I mean, I'm just
What's
saying,
the
his
problem, buddy?
soul's, it's got a list of tasks. Say, it's got a map. It's got to follow. It just goes from one body to another. You know what I'm saying? A revivify doesn't really work, kind of thing. Something like that.
So you're saying you need to trap his soul first?
No.
I mean, that depends.
I think it's okay. Enough has been clarified by now within the campaign. If Arudim were to die, his soul goes to another body, which means it's not there to return to the current one.
Mm-hmm.
AKA,
got
if
them first.
Arudim goes down, there's nothing you guys can.
If Arudim goes down, it's his next life.
Yeah,
Goes down as in hits 0 hit points, or goes down as in straight dies?
straight dies.
Full death. Fails 3 death saves.
Because that's something else entirely.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
No,
What do you think the item that I chose was the displacer cloak?
you don't want to die, man. He just says he does.
Well, okay, that's for another day.
But yes, we should wrap the stream up. For those of you watching, thank you so much for tuning in. I feel like we're starting to get this campaign back on track. I'm starting to get my bearings. A special thank you, of course, to Native as
Fuck, we're
always.
still alive. I'm
For
sorry.
doing no, you're good. Thank you again to Native for doing all that you do, modding in the chat, advertising for us when we need to advertise. Yes, do go check out any older episodes of Planeswalkers that you missed. Yes, even the bad ones in recent weeks that I flubbed through my lines on. By the time
They're
this
not
comes
been
out,
bad ones.
yay, no. All right, that rambling from Jortix was bad. I listened to it earlier. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was, but it was still kind of bad. It was still kind of rambly, and it didn't quite get the message across very clearly.
Well, I mean, he was kind of under duress.
No, narratively speaking, there is the excuse there, but also, well, no, I should say, character-wise speaking, it worked, but narratively speaking, it didn't. I don't feel like it justified a lot. A lot of it if I were watching this as just a viewer, I would think that I bullshitted a lot of that. Do make sure to like. If you aren't subscribed, subscribe. If you aren't hipped up on that bell, hook up on that bell. Catch you
So
later.
tell your friends, tell your grandma, tell your grandma's friends, you know.
You can-
Okay, friends.
Nice, dearie. You like to play make-believe with your friends. You might be a little old for that one.
But yes, stay tuned to the coming
No, grandma,
sessions.
you're dead.
It's going to be essentially 5e Planescape because they go to Sigil. It's a joke only old D&D nerds will probably get. But y'all have a good night. Thank you again.